Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Steve, and today we will be focusing on a black-red mid-range deck in Explorer. This is best of one, and the link to the deck list will be in the description below. I'm going to talk about some of the card choices and the basic game plan, then we'll play a couple of games, so let's go. First, how this deck functions from other black-red mid-range decks in Explorer is that it has a really heavy focus on a sacrifice theme. What that means specifically here is we have Mayhem Devil, which whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, it deals 1 damage to any target, right? And that's good with the very well-known combo of Witch's Oven and Cauldron Familiar, right? These are two cards that interact very well with each other because on their own, you can use Witch's Oven to create a food, and once a food has been created, Cauldron Familiar can come from the graveyard to the battlefield, and it can enter the battlefield to block, or enter the battlefield to immediately be sacked to Witch's Oven at your opponent's end turn, right? To repeat that process over and over again. And okay, what does that do? Well, even if you're not using Cauldron Familiar to chump block anything, you are using it to drain life from your opponent, right? So this combo is just doing things on its own. Now, when you combine that with Mayhem Devil, oh wow, you're now doing a lot more damage per cycle of that. And so, with that kind of baseline of the deck, we have other things going on. So, first, we have really cheap creatures, Shambling Ghast and Unlucky Witness, which, with Deadly Dispute, can be sacked to draw 2 cards and create a treasure, right? And so, sometimes you just want to sacrifice a Witness, a Ghast, or even a Cauldron Familiar, right? To just draw those 2 cards, get more things in your hand, and create a treasure. Because if you can change your 1/1s into the more threatful cards while building up your mana and building that card advantage, right? You're going to be able to create an engine that can kill out of nowhere. And what does that engine do? So let's say you have a couple of cards, you have a couple of mana. What cards do you want to have on play? So we have Priest of Forgotten Gods, which if you can sacrifice 2 of any other creature, your opponent then loses 2 life and sacrifices a creature. So with Priest out, if you have 1 activation of Priest, you're usually sacrificing, let's say, a Cauldron Familiar or Shambling Ghast. So you're sacrificing creatures that don't really matter or do anything, and hopefully that's going to then make your opponent sacrifice something a little more important. And they lose 2 life, right? So they're losing a little bit while you're changing your creatures for now also card and mana advantage, right? So Priest also functions with our sacrifice theme in that you get a lot of triggers with Mayhem Devil, right? But she can also do it with Claim the Firstborn, and Claim the Firstborn works with all of our other sack outlets, right? If you can ever claim the Firstborn, a creature your opponent controls, and then you sacrifice it, it not only becomes a 1 mana kill spell, which is very efficient, very good. You have then hopefully used it to maybe Cry with Woe Strider, stack it to Priest of Forgotten Gods, or turn it into a food for Witch's Oven so you can get your food for your Cauldron Familiar if you don't have any, right? So there's just all of that stuff going on. And again, it's important to note that Claim can be reused with the Chandra, and Chandra's second ability creates 2/1/1s that will be sacrificed at end of turn. So her second ability, if the elementals aren't killed, well, guess what? They trigger for Mayhem Devil. If they aren't killed, hey, guess what? You can sacrifice 2 creatures for Priest of Forgotten Gods, right? So she's doing a lot of hard work here, and kind of similarly, what Fable the Mirror Breaker is going to do as well. Fable Mirror Breaker is also a card that can stage 2 filtering excess lands is a really important part of this deck. This deck is drawing a lot of cards, through, you know, Priest and Deadly Dispute and the Unlucky Witness. But you need to make sure you're drawing like complete gas. This deck doesn't have a lot of room to have a turn that isn't a turn, right? So Mayhem Devil really helps you. Okay, you're getting a 2/2, which not only gives you mana, which you sack, that combos with Mayhem Devil. It's a 2/2 creature that, guess what? Can be used for Priest, can be used for Woe Strider, can be used for a lot of things. And then the copying effect on Reflecting the Kiki-Jiki is always wonderful in here. If you ever have the opportunity to Reflecting the Kiki-Jiki a Mayhem Devil, it is not only one of the best things you could do in Magic, but it literally makes you feel like nobody can beat you. So highly recommend it for that feeling. But like that's kind of like a brief overview of the cards and what the deck does, right? It has this like very, very tight, powerful sack theme that kind of really builds up with each other card and how everything is layered together, where usually you learn to play cards in Magic by themselves, right? And when you start combining things together that have, you know, similar goals or similar synergies, you learn to prioritize and build things in a very different way, right? So now, you know, hey, you might want to claim the firstborn something early on so you can sacrifice it to Witch's Oven, but hey, maybe if you wait another turn, you can, or another 2 turns, you can do that same play, but this time you'll have a Mayhem Devil out and a Priest, and you get much more value out of that claim rather than doing it on the first turn and sack it to a Witch's Oven. However, if you wait that long, maybe there's disruption or other things that can go badly, right? So this deck has a ton of branching paths that like is really, really cool to navigate. And the more you play it, the more you just see how everything interacts. And it's really, really fun and really, really powerful. And yeah, I love it. The deck is great. It's tight. Let's go play some matches with it. Okay, we have a 1, a 2, a 3 drop. I think we have our Mayhem Devil. Things look pretty fantastic here. So, what we're setting up... Huh. Our opponent is on Angels. Okay. So I think what we really need here, if we want a Priest of Forgotten Gods, and then next turn we can Mayhem Devil, and that gives us a lot of opportunity to really mess up our opponent, depending on what they do here. Okay. How badly do we think it will be if our opponent... I mean, I guess they could have Coco, but I think we can live doing this and saying go. I think we have a really, really good opportunity with Claim the Firstborn, which is going to be good in this Angel matchup, to really mess up our opponent. Now we'll see what our opponent does. Oh, nothing? Okay. I mean... Okay. This is what felt coming, but I think we're still fine. Alright, I have to sacrifice something still. That just, how beautiful was that one? Here we have Mayhem Devil and Woe Strider, both good, and Cauldron Familiar and Lucky Witness. Yeah, no, this is fine. Easy. Right, double. I'm assuming one way to get rid of it. March? Okay. We can double spell here, which I'm not particularly happy about. But this does mean next turn we can Woe Strider at 3, and then the 4th turn, the Hive of the Eye Tyrant doesn't feel like too much of a waste. Could also do that. Because we also want to be aware to potentially need to Mayhem Devil away a Teferi, right? Then that again. That seems fine. And then we just wait. The Wandering Emperor, okay. Emperor, we get to attack one of them in response. So no life is getting gained. Okay, GG. Okay. Okay, this is great. Great. We have the turn 1 play, turn 2, then a lot of turn 3. We're probably not gonna deadly dispute the witness on 1. It's something we can do. Alright. Now Thoughtseize gonna do what Thoughtseize does. So, if our opponent's more of a mid-range Rakdos deck, well, we're kind of a Rakdos sack deck, right? I think we're at an advantage. I think we have more card advantage and card selection, and our things just do more in general, but I don't know. Like, I don't think their aggressive strategy works well with our interaction. I don't know if I believe that. And they're gonna have to kill that. Do we have any blood? We don't have any blood tokens in this deck, which is a little interesting, so we kind of are having to survive through our stuff through deadly disputes, right? We can't filter anything. We have to play everything. And Fable. But we knew that was gonna happen. A blood type harvester. Let's do the unlucky witness, see what happens here. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be rough.
Anything.
Could have done the other way. Damn.
Go get him, but hey, these little guys are great.
Because these will be sacked at end of turn. At the beginning of the next sunset, yeah. So they will just kill the harvester. What we want to do, right, is just really make our opponent have to have a way to we're making them needing the Mayhem Devil. We're killing our harvester and going, okay, you need a way to kill the devil. Because we're winning otherwise, right? And that's why Mayhem Devil is so good. Because you have a lot of things that are drawing you and dealing incremental damage and whatever. And sometimes your opponent will play spells like on those, right? And they have to all spend their spells to somehow live via creatures, so you just don't die and kill them. But they really always have to play around this Mayhem Devil that can just come out of nowhere and do things and kill. Like right here, we just dealt 3 damage and didn't even need to do anything. Like, what? We will keep. We have a Ghast. We have good. I love this Claim the Firstborn art. You all know me, I like to have pretty art on all my cards. And Cauldron Familiar? Okay. Same vibe. Yeah. Also, everyone, if you're watching this video and you haven't already, besides like, commenting, and subscribing, I will be streaming the new Baldur's Gate Alchemy set later today on my Twitch, which I'll link below. And I would greatly appreciate it if you joined me and watched me play some of those games. But other than that, let's get back to the game. I'll try to make my advertising as quick as possible. Let's do that. And see what happens here. I don't know what I want to do here. It'd be great if they got a Mayhem Devil. That's exactly not what they wanted, because now they don't have anything to sack. So we're going to claim it. And then, like, ruin our opponent's life. They just literally lose here. GG. Okay, we will keep. Great hand. We have Cat, Oven, a Deadly Dispute, Priest. Like, we have everything we want. Let's go. We want another land, of course, but... Alright, our opponent has Thoughtseize here, so now we're gonna... This is good, because I wanted to then talk about my plan. So now, whatever plan we did have has changed a little bit. Discarding Cat is always a very interesting choice. Our opponent knew we couldn't Priest of Forgotten Realms and turned it into a Cat. But, like, Woe, if we ever get to the third turn with the Woe Strider, Cat is safe there. Or not safe. But now, because our opponent has a Temerit to interact with it, that would make sense why an opponent would want that. So what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to make the food. I think the Priest is much worse than a Cat right now in this situation. And then we can, once we get one more turn use out of the Witch's Ovens, if we don't draw land, we can Deadly Dispute. And then I think we'll be in a fine place. But I don't know. Oh, is our opponent some type of aura deck or a black enchantment? This is putting it so if they have another land, they then do it, and it traps my Cauldron Familiar a little here. But they didn't. So what? I want it stuck in play, so then I can figure out what I need to do, if I need to do anything. But we get Woe Strider next turn, even potentially using Deadly Dispute, so... Meathook Massacre for 0 is not killing anything. What that does do is make our Cat not do anything to our opponent. We still gain life, and that's so fine, right? But I want to bring it back here, so then I can Deadly Dispute and see what's going on. The Woe Strider. Blood Crypt tapped. Eliminate. I'll do that. No blocks. I don't know what our opponent's on. I feel like they're obviously missing a lot going on. They're like also generically good black cards, but they're all black enchantment permanents that our opponent has, so maybe there's some theme going on there. Alright, lands. Did I want that? Yeah. So we can start bringing back the cat, and we can use the goats as Gry fodder for our Woe Strider. 4 other cards, and so it's Woe Strider, Cauldron Familiar, and 4 other cards. So we can bring the one there. No, we'll just make it food there. Fine. Bless me. Uh-oh. Like, so our opponent might be on... I'm assuming they're on white-black auras and they're just missing it. But Eidolon's also just good enough with those hate auras. From your graveyard, if you do create a 2/2. Okay. Opponent's gonna start doing work. We will too. I mean, we literally get one Mayhem Devil and it's over. Right? Nope. 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 So we can exile 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're gonna do is we want 2 cards in our hand in case of Fable. So that's why I have it here. We're gonna Thoughtseize away Cauldron Familiar, which is fine. So we drain the cat. Alright, Deadly Dispute. There we go. I can't imagine losing from here, right? Like, Mayhem Devil's just gonna do so much work. Like, no mana involved, and I can just distribute 10 damage as I want, basically. Mire? Okay. Our opponent's still only stuck on 2 land. I don't imagine it would make a big difference, but... I want to kill the board. mean, I guess. So we're gonna do that. To draw a card. And lose 2 life. 1, 2. And we scry 1. Oh wow. That was even better.
I've learned a bunch of new burn spells to try.
Oh.
Don't worry. Say hi to my fiery friends.
I was like, our opponent will gain life, but nope. GG. Well, thanks for watching me play some Black-Red Sack in Explorer. This deck was really powerful, really good, really amazing. I kind of want to play in best of 3 now. It is exactly what I like. It plays so tightly and close to the ground. You have very impactful decisions literally from turn 1, and everything just seems very, very, very relevant. It was great, and I love it. I also think in specifically the best of 1 metagame, Claim the Firstborn is a really, really good metagame call. There are so many powerful creatures that you can then steal for a turn and then kill, and it just will blow your opponents out of the water. This card's just really, really great right now, and I think because this card is really, really great, this deck is good. I think this deck is very, very tight. I think maybe there are opportunities to change a card or two, but right now I don't have anything that I'd want. You let me know. But no, this deck was so great. I had fun. I hope you all enjoyed the video and learned some things, because this is a deck where, again, I felt like I always maybe could have done something a little different, and for me as a player, that's what I look forward to in my games. So with that being said, if you like what you saw, you should totally hit that like, comment, or subscribe button. Those are great ways to support me. You can also watch me stream live at twitch.tv/TheNerdySteve. And yeah, y'all are freaking amazing, and thank you for watching. Hope you are having a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.